Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light on the challenges appertaining to monetizing an action figure collection. What are they, you may ask? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. First and foremost, it is a Brobdingnagian challenge to attain the requisite knowledge to be able to monetize an action figure collection, especially in a multitude of disparate ways. Most action figure collectors are unknowledgeable about how to produce videos, archivable live stream broadcasts, songs, podcast episodes, audiobooks, ebooks, custom-made print-on-demand merchandise, online courses, software applications, mobile games, customizable templates, and photos appertaining to action figures. Just gaining the requisite knowledge to be able to monetize an action figure collection is a major challenge within itself. Can it be surmounted? Can it be overcome? Yes, you could triumph over obstacles, over impediments, over roadblocks that encumber you and that cause you to reach an impasse on your journey to unprecedented success as an entrepreneurial action figure collector. Most action figure collectors are not highly knowledgeable in the domains of content creation. It is not their core competency. It is not a part of their bailiwick, lamentably. But it can be. They can accrue more knowledge over time. They can assimilate information and subsequently convert it into knowledge. When information is retentive, it's a little more apt to be converted into knowledge. Let's move on. What is another challenge of monetizing an action figure collection? Well, if you have the requisite knowledge to be able to monetize an action figure collection in a myriad of disparate ways, you're still not guaranteed to be successful because you're competing in hyper-competitive niche action figure content markets. How will you distinguish your brand from competitor brands? How will you gain a foothold in a hyper-competitive action figure content market that is inundated, that is deluged, that is overly saturated with competition? These action figure content markets are replete with competitors. Your competitors have attained ample, potent competitive advantages. They've also attained substantial brand recognition, strong brand loyalty, and of course, robust brand equity. Furthermore, they have enormous subscriber bases. How will you create content that is deemed to be viral-worthy, like-worthy, engagement-worthy, algorithm recommendation-worthy, and share-worthy, and that is also apt to yield high engagement rates, high viewership rates, high audience retention rates, and high watch times? How will your content build traction and transcend into becoming viral content? How will you render your content so extraordinary, so indelible, so compelling, so distinguishable from your competitors' content that it is apt to be disseminated across a multitude of popular social media platforms by your brand advocates and by your target market? Your success as an entrepreneurial action figure collector is predicated upon whether or not your target market decides to consume your content and your products. You want to be able to cultivate behemoth brands across a multitude of popular social media websites. You want to be able to automate as many marketing activities as possible. You want to be able to leverage your brand advocates to share your content with your target market. Your target market is all the more apt, all the more inclined to consume your content if it is recommended by your brand advocates and if it is populated in their content recommendation algorithms. Moreover, by cultivating behemoth brands across a multitude of social media websites, you can vector. Well, let me rephrase this thought. By establishing behemoth brands across a multitude of social media websites, you can leverage them as potent marketing vehicles to vector your target market to your product pages where they can procure your product offerings from. You can sell online courses, software applications, mobile games, customizable templates, photos, and other products appertaining to action figures. You can write books about action figures. You can narrate books about action figures. Your custom-made action figures can be embedded on your custom-made print-on-demand merchandise. Your online courses can shed light on how to grow a prodigious action figure collection and on how to monetize an action figure collection. Your software applications can track prices of action figures and show the historical price data of action figures and show the price disparities of action figures. Your mobile games can feature your custom-made action figures in pixel form as combatants that can be pitted up against one another. Furthermore, your photos can feature your custom-made action figures. So, do not neglect, do not shirk on cultivating behemoth brands across a copious amount of disparate social media platforms. You can leverage your social media channels as potent marketing vehicles to drive your target market to your product pages where they have autonomy to procure your vast selection of product offerings from at any given moment if they so choose to do so. What are additional challenges appertaining to monetizing an action figure collection beyond the aforementioned challenges? Well, it can be arduous to sustain working as an entrepreneurial action figure collector for 14 to 18 hours per day for 3 to 15 years at least to have a modicum of a chance to attain profound success as an entrepreneurial action figure collector. You want to cultivate behemoth brands across a multitude of social media platforms. You want to grow an enormous content reservoir. And you want to be able to grow an extensive product catalog. And monetizing a prodigious action figure collection by creating content and products about action figures is not easy. It's highly time draining. It's a pursuit that can easily take 14 to 18 hours per day. in which you work for 7 consecutive days per week for at least 3 to 15 years incessantly. And if you strategically work hard, there's no guarantee that you will become a dominant market competitor in the niche action figure content markets that you compete in. However, you do have an iota of a chance. It's predicated upon whether or not your target market will consume your content and such, or your products. You can also compete in niche action figure product markets. You can sell products appertaining to action figures. You're not siloed, you're not pigeonholed to only working in one capacity as an entrepreneurial action figure collector. Some action figure collectors even sell custom-made action figures. There are so many disparate capacities that you can work in as an entrepreneurial action figure collector. And you need to be resilient. You need to have fortitude. You need to have the stamina, the endurance, the determination, the drive, and the unwavering spirit to sustain working 14 to 18 hours per day for at least 3 to 15 years to have a modicum of a chance of becoming a dominant market competitor in the niche markets that you compete in each and every day. Monetizing an action figure collection is a highly time-consuming endeavor. It is a pursuit that is not for the faint of heart. Is it an insurmountable challenge to monetize an action figure collection in multiple capacities? No. You want to be able to establish recurring revenue streams that can generate enough revenue as an aggregate to offset your recurring expenses. That's the only way to get out of poverty and pull yourself out of the muck and mire. So, you are at liberty at any given moment to produce videos, archivable live stream broadcasts, songs, podcast episodes, audiobooks, ebooks, custom-made print-on-demand merchandise, online courses, software applications, mobile games, customizable templates, and photos about action figures. Do not think that you're incapable of doing so. You want to be able to move your life in a forward movement trajectory, actualize your latent potential, and manifest the quintessential version of yourself into reality. So become the most knowledgeable, most adept, and most competent version of yourself, as well as the most confident version of yourself. And if you can become profoundly successful as an entrepreneurial action figure collector, then perhaps you can receive action figures for free from companies, from subscribers, from viewers, from followers, from patrons, and from donors. I hope that you found this video to be insightful and enthralling. Do not be trepidatious. Have the temerity to move your life in a forward movement trajectory. You can surmount the ample challenges of monetizing an action figure collection. It is possible. Do not neglect to do so. Have the audacity to always move your life in a forward movement trajectory. And continue to strategically work hard 7 days per week, ceaselessly, for at least 14 to 18 hours per day, each and every day of the week, for at least a bare minimum of 3 to 15 years, so that you can have a modicum of a chance to gain market share in the niche markets that you compete in and vie for market share in each and every day. Leverage your creativity. Tap into your ingenuity. And allow your content to embody Let me rephrase that. Allow your content to showcase your innovative ideas, as well as your creativity and ingenuity. Render your content novel, indelible, extraordinary, share-worthy, viral-worthy, algorithm recommendation-worthy, like-worthy, and engagement-worthy. Do not neglect to do so if you want to become profoundly successful as an entrepreneurial action figure collector. I hope that you found this video to be informative and engrossing. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.